Yo guys, what is going on? Blossom is back and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. Now, I don't know what's going on with 2022. It's not a bad year for me. It actually started off very well and it's ending pretty well as well. The middle part could have been a little bit better. But I will be honest, I've not had a fever since 2016. Until 2022, so that's a good 6 years of not getting genuinely sick. Like you don't count like maybe like stomach bugs, like we're talking like cold, cough, fever, all that kind of stuff, COVID. Like I never had that until 2022. 2022, I got sick 3 times. This is the 3rd time I'm sick. I don't know why. I'm recovering now, so you can hear that my voice is still a little bit different, but my energy, it was always here, to be fair. It's just that my voice is a little bit different still. I don't know, man. Like I got sick 3 times. I don't know what's going on. I'm doing everything the same, I'm still working out all the time, I'm still eating super healthy, so we'll have to find that out eventually. But anyway guys, outside of the fact that I'm recovering, so that's why my video uploads has been a little slower for the past couple of days, today's video is going to be about rares. I want to showcase my 400 plus max rares. I wanted to make this video when I had 400 maxed out fully upgraded rares, but since I was sick, I actually upgraded 2 more, so the number is 402. But that also means that for the video title I can do 400 plus. I also have 566 max ultra rares. We'll do another video about that when I hit 600. We'll do a video for super rares maybe when we hit 400, epics when we hit maybe 150, and legendaries when we hit 20. So just one more, and I think that the next legendary I'm going to max out is the tricolor, which I nicknamed Rigatoni. But anyway guys, out of my 402 rares, I think this is a great representation to show you what are the best and worst rares. Well, not really the worst, just the best rares, because obviously the best of the best rares, the ones that I use the most, are going to be the rares that I max out in duplicates. A lot of them are going to be obviously Blossom Choice, but yeah, I mean, a lot of the best rares I would say I have in duplicates because I use them in clubs and I use them in events. So let's give you a rundown. 400 max out super rares, 402 in total. Every single rare I have is max because, I have OCD. 212 is performance tires. When I think of 212, I think of Commander Cody because he's from the 212 battalion. 138 standard, 30 all surface, 16 off-road, 6 are slicks, 160 are front wheel drive, 188 are rear wheel drive, and 54 are rear wheel drive. So pretty even across the board with the tire type. From countries, 110 are from the US, 76 are British, 49 are German, 80 are Japanese. That's quite a lot, to be fair. Second biggest number here. 1 is Dutch, 2 Swedish, 32 French, and 52 Italian, and nothing else from the rest of the countries. And then we want to talk about decades and years. Most of them are coming from 2010s and 2000s, and then actually quite a bit coming from the 1980s and 90s as well. 87, actually more 80s and 90s than 2010s. 3 from the 2020s, which I'm actually pretty interested to see which are the 3s. 2 of them being new ones too. I see. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. Collections and tags, don't need to talk about too much about that. Miscellaneous, there's too much to talk about over here as well. Anyway, so let me showcase my 402 maxed out ultra rares. So starting us off here, you're gonna see a lot of these cars. They used to be uncommon and they all went up to rare in the PL, I think it was 15, right? PL 15 update, when all the cars went up in rarity. And as you can see, a lot of these cars just used to be uncommon, and I maxed them all out. I had a crap ton. Like, I seriously had a criminal amount of rare tokens, mainly because I had 30 plus Dodge Chargers going up to super rare. So that's 30 plus rares I can max out, 30 plus worth of commons just coming from my Chargers alone. So basically every single uncommon that I had move up to rare, I just maxed it out immediately. So you're gonna see a lot of these in bulk. The main reason is because I had these uncommons in bulk, and I decided to keep them in rares in bulk as well. So 2 of the Imprezas, 3 of the Twizzies, which I've thought about selling 1 of them, to be fair, but then again, you're only getting an uncommon price for it anyway, so there's really no point. A lot of just old uncommons like the President Sovereign, the Micra, both by Nissan Fairladies used to be uncommon as well. It's crazy because if you're a new Top Drives player, like completely new, like you started just 2 months ago, then this would have been rare to you the entire time you've been playing. And you might be thinking that I'm weird for saying that this used to be uncommon, but yeah, if you're a new player, man, just try and picture this in green. This used to be uncommon, this used to be uncommon, but yeah, it's all changed now. These are all rare now. But for the most part, a lot of these rares, I'm a bit of a rare collector as well. Like ultra rare and rare are kind of like my favorite rarities to collect. Obviously I love epics as well, but they're super hard to fully upgrade in bulk. So if I want to upgrade something in bulk, a rarity that usually gives me value is rare and ultra rares. And that's another reason why I don't like super rares, because it's kind of like, if I want to save RQ, I'll go one rarity lower and go rare. And if I want to get a better car, I'll go one rarity higher than super rare and go ultra rare. I mean, I guess you can say that for all rarities, but at the same time, you guys know how I feel about super rares. I don't hate them as much as I hate commons, but I just feel like super rares aren't really worth maxing out. You're spending basically almost 60 grand or just about 60 grand maxing out a super rare, which is the same price as maxing out an ultra rare. Now, I say this because it takes about 45 grand to max out a super rare, but you also need to use 15 rares, which is 15k. And obviously, like, you can say, oh, you need to use 15 super rares to max out, you know, an ultra rare. Obviously 2.5k times 15 is also an X amount, right? But I don't really count that. To me, super rares are more disposable, so I don't see it as a waste. But for rares, I usually sell them most of the time, so I do feel like I'm wasting the rares when I max out a super rare, if that makes sense. But anyway, that's a super rare thing. This is a rare video. So moving on here, we have the Fiat Panda car, which is pretty cool as well. It's a pretty lightweight boy, coming in at 1,305 kilograms. I say it's a lightweight boy for what it is, a four-wheel drive off-road tire car. A lot of these cars that you see down here by the brackets, these are things that I kind of just needed to upgrade for challenge purposes or special tag purposes. For example, the Adam Rocks used to be Christmas collection back in 2021, and it looks like it's going to be Christmas collection again in 2022. We got 4 of the Vauxhall Chevettes. To be fair, I had this when they used to have, I think, a super low zero. I think it was like 5.9 of a 0 to 60. Handling stayed the same. It's still medium. It's still light. Still a great car. So I'm going to keep 4 of them around. Let's see. I got 2 Plymouth GTXs, which are very strong. Obviously, 4.2 seconds for a 0 to 60 for an RQ31. Great value if you want to save some RQ on the drags. This one's pretty new. Well, it's very, very new. I've only had it for like, I want to say 3 days, 2 days. It's a very light car, coming in at 592 kilograms, 80 handling, very, very nimble. Maybe I'll do a separate showcase for all the newer rares later. I'll show you everything first, and I'll show you the newer rares later. I have a collection of Ford Taurus, and once again, guys, these were all uncommon. I just maxed them all out when they went up. Obviously, when they were uncommon, they had the same stats. They only went up to rare because now they are also classified as medium ground clearance. And to be fair, it should have always been medium ground clearance. It made no sense to me that this car was low. It's a great car if you wanted to save RQ for saloon in clubs, so I have 4 of them max. Now I do feel like 4 is a bit overkill for rare, but as an uncommon, it was one of the best options to use. But obviously now you have a lot of better handling, because like 82 for an uncommon saloon was pretty good back then, but now you have the Alpha, which is 86, which is so much better. Anyway, moving on now with the Fiat Turbina. I think this was Christmas collection last year as well, I believe. I know that I maxed out for a challenge. A lot of these cars that you see over here were maxed out for challenge purposes. The Bristol, this one I maxed out because I want to collect every single PL15 rare, and I'm very close in doing so. I think I'm only missing 3 non-prize rares from World Expo, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think no, 2 of them are Bristols, 1 is an Oldsmobile, so I'll need to collect those 3 eventually. I think the only reason why I haven't collected the other 2 Bristols is because I don't like their pictures, and for the Oldsmobile, I don't know why. I'm an American collector. I should have that by now, but I don't. Bentley Turbo R was for a challenge of some sort. I totally forgot what challenge it was for. It has a special tag a long time ago. Was it Summer Games? I'm not sure. I can't remember. I used to have 2, and I sold 1 away. I maxed 2 out for the challenge, and I sold 1 because I was like, this car is completely useless. Why do I ever want it? This one's an interesting one. The Oldsmobile Alero. I always think I don't have this car. Every time I get it from a prize bracket, I'm just like, oh, it's a new car. Then I see it in the prize in my holding pool, and it says, oh, you already have 1 of it. I'm just like, oh, okay, never mind. So yeah, I always think that I don't have this car, but I do, which is kind of funny. You have the Rabbit as well, so that's really cool. Obviously, I have my army of Land Rover Defender 10s. Now, I've thought about selling 1 of them, but then again, I want to have an entire hand. I want a full house of just Land Rover Defender 110s. These used to be uncommon. I maxed them all out when they were uncommon, but they went up to rare before the whole token fiasco. So I can subjectively sell them as rares if I want to, but I'm not going to. I'm going to keep them all around. 4-wheel drive off-road tires. They handle okay, and they weigh under 2,000 kilograms, which is relatively light. Moving on now, Lancia Fulvia. I got 2 of these cars. These cars are beasts, by the way. Absolutely love them, from Amalfi Coast. They are very light, weighing at under 1,000 kilograms or under a ton, and they handle ridiculously well for an RQ32. Very impressive car, to be fair. I like using it a lot. This car was a bit of a disappointment. This one, the H1 Alpha Wagon. I love 4-wheel drive. I love off-road tires, but this car is too far gone in weight, dude. 3.4 tons. That's way too heavy, and the handling is garbage. 63, not good enough. So unfortunately, it's just there for the looks. I love how it looks. I love the color, but that's it, man. That's it. Moving on, the Ford Probe. I think a lot of you guys would have been seeing this a lot in the Interstellar challenges. I use this car a crap ton in the Interstellar challenges. 302 total races. I think it used to be like maybe 210 before the challenge. Now I've already used it like 100 times. Moving on, the Di Tommaso Pampero, which is like the World Expo version of the Lancia Fulvia from PL16. A very lightweight car coming in at 652 kilograms and 90 handling. Very impressive. I like this car a lot. I do use it from time to time. Over 100 races in just over 100 days as well. Moving on now, BMW Z4 S-Drive. I feel like this car's been in my garage forever now. German Renaissance boy, 1,272 days, 1,756 races, 52% win ratio. This was the car to use back then. You know, it was a RQ Saver with 89 handling, but obviously now there are a lot of better cars, a lot of better options now, but it's still a pretty decent car. I use it from time to time. If I want a German car that handles pretty well, this is probably still one of the best cars to use. Not a lot of German rares out there hitting 89. Obviously, the best of the best would be the Opel GT, but that's Blossom choice for a reason. Moving on, my rare collection. Also, feel free to pause this video at any time you'd like. If you have any questions down below on how I upgraded these cars, let me know. I have a pair of Plymouth Hemi Cudas, which is pretty useless. I mean, it's not useless, but as you can see, 19 races in 110 days. The main reason is this. It's a very good car, but I'd rather use the Pontiac Firebird. But if you can't use prize cars, the Plymouth Hemi Cuda is the way to go. So I have two of these max just in case for those situations. Also, shout out, man, back when American Frontier just dropped, not American Frontier, sorry, back when American Dream just dropped, a lot of you guys may forget this car used to be a super rare. Can anyone remember that? It used to be a super rare. It used to have way better handling, which made no sense because this is a ride-on-right muscle car. But yeah, I think it's in a good space now. Great MRI, low 0 to 60, a high top speed, where the Plymouth Hemi Cuda should be, in my opinion. So it's a very strong car. I like it a lot. So I got two of those maxed out. I wish it had a better photo though, really. Like, this is a very beautiful car. One of the nicest looking cars in my opinion, and I just wish that it had a nicer photo to represent what this car was. It's very similar to a Charger. Okay, it shares the same body as a 1970 Challenger, but it has the grille of a 1970 Charger, so a 1969 Charger, sorry. So it's a very beautiful car, kind of a mix of those two Dodges, and which makes sense because Plymouth is also, you know, with Dodge, their sister companies. They're all Mopar. You know what? They're all part of the Mopar family. We have the two Opel Mantas as well, a car that I used to use all the time at the start of Great Exhibition. I gotta say though, for the Opel Manta, it still tricks me till this day. I still think it's a medium ground clearance car, but it's not. It looks like it's medium ground clearance in the picture, but it's not. It has low ground clearance, as you can see over here, but hey, I digress, man. It still handles really well, and it's a really beautiful car in real life. Like, it's a really beautiful looking car in real life. Like, I really like how it looks. All right, moving on with my army of Nissan Datsun Bluebirds. Obviously, they all used to be uncommon, and I wish they were still uncommon. They were fantastic uncommons. They're not bad as rares now, but they were so much better at RQ28. I think that's what they used to be at. 33 now, a little bit less relevant, because they kind of, I don't know, like, to be fair, they kind of perform where they should be now. Like, I think this is a very RQ32, 33 car, which meant that it was a great bargain as an uncommon, but now it's not that much of a bargain anymore. It kind of, to be fair, Hutch kind of hit it on the nail with this one. It performs where it should be now, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I do use it a little less, not too much less, but like a little bit less, okay? Now moving on, we have my army of Mazda Yunus Roadsters as well. I got 4 of them maxed out. Standard tires, 90 handling. All of them are super lightweight. They all used to be uncommon, and they're still very useful as rares. So straight off the bat, you can see that these are Blossom choice cars, right? Yeah, we got the Bluebird as well as the Mazda Yunus. I have 2 of the Lotus Esprit. Once again, I maxed out both of them mainly because, like, I was very excited. This was a new car coming down from Super Rare. Obviously, I had it when it was a Super Rare. I can sell it at a Super Rare price, which is also very, very tempting. I mean, honestly, I should sell this one 35 because I have another one and they're not that useful anyway. 26 races in 102 days, 93 races in 331. I'm tempted. If I need to sell something, I might sell this Lotus Esprit, but they're both old guard. They're also both style icon. They're both good looking cars that handle pretty well. They're also very light. So, you know, it's kind of a bit of a hybrid car. I was very excited. Like I said, they went down from super rare, so they probably were good rares in my assumption. And obviously I had a lot of tokens lying around, so I decided to max both of them out. Moving on from the collection, collection. I got my Aston Martin V8. I love this car. It's got a super high top speed for an RQ33, a low-ish 0 to 60, not the lowest in the world, but relatively low. And then we have a couple of Fiats over here, some standard tire 4-wheel drive French cars. I think I needed them for a challenge. Mazda 6, I needed this for a challenge. 5th anniversary, that's what it was. But I had this car long before 5th anniversary. This car used to be an RQ29, I believe. It used to be an uncommon. I actually maxed it out when it was uncommon. Then it moved up to rare, and now it has the 5th anniversary tag. This thing is a beast, by the way. Standard tires, 84 handling, incredibly light, 578 kilograms. I love the swans in the background as well. It's a nice photo, to be fair. Even though it's black and white and the crop isn't the best thing in the world, I get it. You know, black and white 1960s cars make sense, man. I love this. 1 year before England won the World Cup. I'm recording this right before the final, by the way, of Argentina versus France. Moving on now, this is a brand new one. Got it a couple days ago, 6 days ago. Never used it once, but I maxed it out recently. The Ford Capri Tickford, 5.384, kind of useless, to be fair. It just doesn't handle as well. Doesn't have a very low 0 to 60. The MRA is pretty bad. Moving on now, I'm a huge fan of Amalfi Coast rares because they all handle really well, and they're all usually generally very light as well. So I'll show you my PL16 collection later. I'll just show you everything first. We have my set of Acura Integras, obviously from American Frontier. I don't use them that much anymore. 156 races on the first, 167 on the second. Is that the same? Both 167? Was that the same? No, 156, 167, never mind. Moving on, Subaru Leon. This used to be uncommon, believe it or not. Now it's a mid-range rare. Obviously 4-wheel drive and standard tires, very, very useful. I usually use it to lose by 50, but then again, it loses to like ultra rares by 50. It's amazing in some cases. 4-wheel drive, standard tires. It's a very lightweight car as well. It's just a very, very strong car, and it handles well, and it has medium ground clearance. Very versatile Subaru, and I like how it looks. It's a very cool looking car, very nice photo. The Saturn, I almost said Vauxhall, which I'm not completely wrong, but the Saturn Astra, this is a very new one. Obviously I had it for about a week. Yeah, 10 days, 17 races. I've only used it in interstellar challenges, nothing more, nothing less. We got the Mercedes-Benz 500 SL up in here as well. Mercedes-Benz 190. This recently got a picture change. Used to be called the Senna or something, like it used to have Senna in the name or something like that, and I used to always call it Senna for that purpose. But yeah, it's a pretty good car. I like it. You know, medium ground clearance, kind of all-round stats. Not gonna win you much, but it's gonna lose by 50 by a lot. One of those hybrids. This is an interesting one. It's a standard tire car, the Kappa. Standard tire car of a very high top speed, 149 for a standard tire car, which is pretty impressive, but then again, no MRA, so it ain't gonna do much for you anyway. Dodge Stealth. Now this one, you might be an intermediate player and you might have never known that this car used to be uncommon. Yes, it used to be uncommon a long time ago, but yeah, man, one of the best cars, one of the most used cars at one point as well. 5.5 for a 0 to 60, really good handling. Like 86 handling was considered like ridiculously good back in the day for almost at Overwatch, for top drives, for a low ground clearance performance tires, but we've got a long way from now. 86 handling is now considered good if you have medium ground clearance. If you have low ground clearance, you're expected to be in the 90s now, but the Stealth used to be very, very good for that 86. Now 86 isn't even that good anymore. You kind of want to go 90 plus, like the BBR, or 94 in the Opel GT. This car existed before the Opel GT, so yeah, pretty crazy stuff how old that car actually is. And then we have my army of Pontiac Firebird Trans Ams. Absolutely love this car. And of course the Opel Manta Rally 92. See, this is kind of what you want now. You don't want the Dodge Stealth anymore, you want the Opel Manta Rally now. Yeah, a little slower to 60 by 0.1 seconds, but it handles so much better, and it's also way lighter. Okay, not way lighter, but it is lighter. It's a very good car. Obviously this alongside the Opel GT concept. I mean, Opel brought a lot of great rares in Great Exhibition, and this is an update that's been around for about 3 years now as well. I mean, soon 2020 January was when Great Exhibition dropped, so in about a month's time, which is crazy. Mercedes-Benz 280 GE, dude, like I love this photo. Like seriously, it's so much better than the last one. The last photo wasn't even bad, but like the mud kind of threw me off. Like the picture felt dirty because of the mud, but now this is beautiful. I love it. Like it's a car in its elements. I love the angle, the boat in the background, the water. Like this is actually, I'm not lying, one of the best photos in the game right now. Seriously, at least one of the best photos for a rare. I should do a video about that, best rare pictures in the game. This is definitely a top 10 for me. Let me know if you want to see that in the comments below. The best pictures for each rarity in the game. Most of the cars are going to be from the new updates, let's be honest. All right, moving on now. The Vallelunga. I love pronouncing this car. Bella lunga competizione. 85 handling, 5.2. It's a great all-rounder. It's got a low 0 to 60, high handling, and it's very, very light. Well, not super high handling, but like I said, it's a great all-rounder. I use it a lot. 514 races. Yes, it only loses by 50, one of those cars, but it's a car that I use a lot nonetheless. Moving on from the collection, a lot of these Audis I used recently because of obviously of the GT series going on. Used that a couple days ago when I was super sick. Not super sick, but like my nose was just like not wanting to, you know, cooperate with anything at all. I got my pair of Ghibli SS's. I love this car. Yeah, 1,467 races and 72% win ratio to boot is actually very, very impressive. This is a car I use all the time for the 1 mile and the test bowl. Yeah, it ain't no Maserati Bora. The Bora might be the better option now, but still, the Ghibli SS, I got 2 of these for a reason. Both of them over 1,000 races. GMC Denali XT, pretty good. Got a really low 0 to 60 and high ground clearance, so a pretty strong car for city streets small. Not medium though, because for city streets medium, it's more focused on handling than 0 to 60, but for city streets small, it's more focused on 0 to 60 than handling, so that 4.9 is going to come in clutch. Still, Ranchero, I don't know why this is honestly RQ37. First of all, I don't know why it has more than 70 handling. It's a muscle car from the 70s, dude. Like, it shouldn't have more than 70 handling, let's be honest. The MRA is atrocious on this thing as well. 0 to 60 is strong, but that's about it. It's a very poor 37. One of the worst RQ37s, in my opinion. And that's saying a lot from an American collector. Moving on, I got a set of Chevrolet Codes. Back in the day, this used to be the best car for the fast circuit. Not anymore, but it's still very strong in that scenario. And then we have the Suzuki Jimny. I just love this car, super cute, you know, Japanese Jeep and all that. Mercedes SLK 200. Now this car, I think some people said ended up being a bit of a disappointment, but like I said, not a lot of German cars that handle very well. It's kind of just a slightly better version of the BMW Z4 that we saw in RQ, I think 32, 33. So I kind of have 2 of them laying around for that single purpose. If I just need a car that's slightly better than BMW, then I'll be using the Mercedes-Benz SLK, especially if I have the RQ to play with. Next up, Mazda MX-5, 87 handling standard tires. I mean, this basically is a Mazda Yunus Roadster, but better. Even though it handles less, the 0 to 60 difference, night and day. I think it's like 3 seconds, right? Also a very lightweight car, much like the Yunus Roadster, coming in at just a little over 900 kilograms. Maserati Bora, you guys knows this already. It's just a better version of the Ghibli on the test bowl, and I believe the 1 mile, just because the MRA on the Bora is ridiculous. I'm looking to get a second one, to be honest. Maybe when I stop collecting, or maybe when I complete my PL15 rares and PL16 rares, then I will get, you know, duplicates of, you know, super useful cars again, like the Bora. But for now, having one of these is completely fine because I have those 2 Ghiblis to back it up. And not a lot of people actually have 2 Boras running around that, from what I've realized from clubs. Now a lot of people are gonna have them because of this video, huh? Alright, next up, I got 4 Dodge Demon Roadsters. I mean, this is the American version of the Mazda BBR. 92 handling, very lightweight car. Only difference of this and the BBR is that the BBR, I think, has a better 0 to 60. I think it's 5.4, 92. I need to go and double check. We'll check BBR soon, because that is RQ59, sorry, 39. Next up, the Alfa Romeo Alpha Set. A little bit of a disappointment in this car, isn't it? It's very light, it's slick tires, it handles very well. You'd think it'd be very, very strong. It'd be like an Opel GT kind of situation. But the main problem with the Alpha Set is that it just doesn't handle that well. It doesn't handle as well as a Demon Roadster. 0 to 60 is also like, you know, 5.8 is kind of high for RQ38. Like, if this was an RQ37, I think that would be the place for it to be. RQ38, a bit too high in my opinion. It ain't gonna beat no BBR, it ain't gonna beat no Demon Roadster, but definitely ain't gonna beat no BBR. It might be a bit more competitive with the Demon Roadster, but definitely not with the BBR. The BBR is king. We have the Laguna Coupe, one of my favorite French rares. Very great standard tire hybrid. I'm gonna say over 1,000 races. Yeah, I mean almost 2,000 at this point, 1,823. Jesus. And then yeah, with BBR, yeah, BBR is 5.5, not 5.6, 5.5. So yeah, ridiculously strong car, man. This used to be like RQ36. I cannot believe it. Now it's 39. It's ridiculously strong, dude. It's super light, you know, once again, 918 kilograms, handles really well, and has a low 0 to 60. The BBR is the best of the bunch, and it has pop-up headlights, and it's cute. Honestly, I should probably get 4 of the max, but for now, having 2 of the max is already very, very strong. This is one of the rares to get, in my opinion. I want to see how many races I got on these. I want to say 2,000, honestly. Oh, wow. Only 761. Okay, how about my second one over here? There we go. 2,417. That's more like it. That's my older one right here. This one, again, another weird Lanza situation. It's a standard tire Lanza with a very, very ridiculously high top speed. 161 miles per hour for a standard tire saloon car. Quite impressive, to be fair. I think I've only had it for like a week. Yeah, 2 weeks, 8. Wow, 100% win ratio from 8 races. That's actually kind of nice. Yeah, I know why though. I race this against bots and clubs. That's the only reason, okay? It's not because it's fantastic. And then there's this one. A very peculiar car in the Fiat Formula 4, because straight off the bat, you probably, okay, if I ask you right now, what's the ground clearance of this? And you wouldn't know. Let's say you don't play the game. What is the ground clearance of this? Let's be honest. You're going to say medium. I mean, sorry. You're going to say low. You're going to say low. You're going to say low. I always thought this was low. And then you turn around and you realize, oh, wait a minute, it's medium. Which is kind of interesting, to be fair, because this is a very similar car. Like, it reminds me of a Lotus 340R, honestly. Even though it has, like, what? It has, like, 1980 Jaguar rims, which is kind of quirky. But yeah, medium ground clearance. It's a very, very quirky car. It doesn't handle as well as you think it does, but hey, it's medium, and it doesn't have a roof, so that's pretty interesting. We have 2 Dodge Hornets as well. I always knew that this car was going to be super good back when American Frontier released, and now it is the top dog for City Streets Medium and City Streets Small. It's amazing. The 0 to 60 is really low, and the handling is very, very high. Just a great combination. It's also a very lightweight car, just coming over a little higher than 1,200 kilograms. And then we wrap it up with the Chryslers, BMWs, and the Audis. This is probably one of the most useful Audis in the game. I've only had it for 84 days, but I've raced it over 100 times. Once again, it's only going to lose by 50, but that's very strong, to be fair. Like, it loses to 50 to like ultra rares, especially like in this most recent GT series challenge. It's actually capable of beating a lot of ultra rare Audis as well. I mean, granted, ultra rare Audis isn't saying much, but yeah, it's all right. One of the better Audis out there. 91 handling, a low 0 to 60, kind of a slightly worse version of the Mazda BBR. And then we have 2 of my Alpine GTA V6 Turbo Le Mans. One is drag spec with 5.4. One is 323 with a 5.6 and 86 handling. These 2 cars have amazing MRA. Great car for the fast circuit. The best car for the fast circuit. And it's a great option for any rolling circuit as well. And then we end off with the A-Barb Simca, which is, you know, a bit of a hybrid jack of all trades, master of none. Probably a very low 0 to 60, a very low win percentage, 66% win ratio, 205 races, and we end off with the A-Barf. Now, I want to talk about the new cars that I have over here now that you've seen all my 402 max ultra rares. I want to talk about Enter the Black Forest and Amalfi Coast. I think I have a lot of them. I'm only missing, I want to say, less than 10 maybe. I've never dropped this car before, not from a single opening, not from a single prize bracket, not that I can remember. I've never dropped this before. I want it just because it's got a crab photo, but I want it because it will finish off my Enter the Black Forest rare collection at 5 out of 6. And I think for the Amalfi Coast, I'm only missing a little bit of the Fiats. I don't like the Fiat 500s. This one I've never dropped. I want this. I like this photo. I like the handling, you know. Come to me, please. I never dropped that before. That's a prize car. This one I've dropped before, but I fused it away because I had too many projects going along and I have OCD. Like, I want to finish everything. So when it comes back, I'll max it out. Watch it never come back now. And then, yeah, I got a bunch of Fiats over here that I've never touched. I've never dropped the Auto Delta before either. I really like the photo. I like this car. I like how it looks. So hopefully I'll get one relatively soon. Handling sucks, to be honest, but I just like the photo. And once again, if I like the photo, I'm sold, honestly. This one I've dropped a couple of times, but I don't like Fiat 500s, and I hate this photo. I mean, come on. This car looks like it's an SUV. It looks so big, but it's not. It's a Fiat 500. Why is it so zoomed in? It doesn't make any sense. But aside that aside, I gotta max out all these cars eventually. So I'm missing what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm missing 9. Yeah, less than 10 if we don't count the prize cars, because obviously this is a prize car. So not bad. Next up we have World Expo. I think I'm really only missing 3 if you don't count prize cars. So those 2 are prize cars. You don't count those. So yeah, this is the 1 Oldsmobile and I think 2 Bristol. So this is the first Bristol that I'm missing, and the last Bristol I'm missing is this one over here. And I think I have the rest. Yeah, I have the rest. So I'm missing those 3. So I think the first thing on the chopping block is to finish off my World Expo rares. Only missing 3 of those, and obviously lock to lock. I mean, they're are only 11 to collect, so they're not a lot. Let me get rid of World Expo right now. Yeah, only 11 to collect, not a lot. Right now I'm only sitting on 3. Really the main one that everybody wants is going to be the Janetta G40. I mean, I want that too. It's very, very light. Definitely probably gonna kill the BBR. I haven't checked Top Drive's records for the times yet, but I'm gonna get started on the new Blossom choices soon, now that we've had, you know, all of those quickfire World Expo updates. I think no more new updates until next year, probably, so I kind of have time to do Blossom choice now. I've dropped this a couple times, but I've used it away just because I had too many projects running along. I think this is sitting in my holding pool right now, the baby doll. I like that name. It's kind of weird, but I kind of like it too. Yeah, I got rare. Sorry, lock to lock. I want to see my lock to lock rares. Let me show you all of them right now. Lock to lock, my cards. So yeah, I got these 3 max right now. Morgan was the first one, Janetta was the second, Morgan Super 3 was the third. I think I actually, yeah, see, it's sitting in here right now. So this will probably be the 4th. I'll add it later. But anyway, guys, that's gonna be it. 402 max rares. That's the entire collection. It feels so weird to do a rare preview or a rare video without showcasing any of my charges, because they're super rare now. And it's even weirder. I feel like I'll never do a super rare video until I max every single one. Oh my goodness, if one max super rare is 60k, I need to max all of this. This is like 35, 36. Oh buddy, but hey, for the charger, anything is worth it. That's my long-term goal, max every single charger. I have 3 max right now, but obviously I need a lot more done. But like I said, I want to max out the newer cars first. I have a lot of these. I think I have like, yeah, 21 max from PL16, which is pretty fast paced for super rare, for my pace, because usually I don't usually touch super rares at all. So as you can see, I kind of went for a very broad range. So there's a decent amount of lower RQs from 40 to 43s, and there's a decent amount of higher RQs from 49s to 48s to 47s. But anyway, guys, super rares, that's for a different video. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you enjoyed looking at my rare collection. Remember to stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my Bonneville Pontiac. Hold tight all night, cruise